Hello, everyone. We are Team Nerd Herd, and today we will be presenting Introduction Surge Belair case study. My name is Viridiana.
My name is Bai.
My name is Jonathan Arevalo.
And my name is Gloryann Cosans.
So, for today's agenda, I will be going over the background of Introduction Surge Belair. Jonathan will be presenting the problems and opportunities for the analysis. And for recommendations, Vi and Gloryann will be going over that. And then Gloryann will conclude our presentation. Next slide, please. So the background for TRSB, Traduction Surge Belair is also known as TRSB, and it's a North American translation services company established in 1987 by Serge Belair. So Serge Belair started his translation business in his basement, then grew into one of the top successful translation companies. TRSB was ranked as the largest translation company in North America in 2016. And also, they are Canada's largest language service provider. They were able to achieve their success due to several factors. The first one is that they provide premium comprehensive services 24 hours a day, giving their customers access to their services at all times. They only focus on French and English translation, making them very proficient in this niche. Lastly, they have about 150 employees. This is a big deal because only 3% of the world's translation agencies have more than 100 employees, placing TRSB among the top ones. I will now pass it over to Jonathan, who will be going over the analysis.
Thank you. Okay, so I will be talking about the strengths for this analysis. So for TRSB, they have a couple of strengths. Starting off, we have TRSB they have positioned themselves in an effective position. So what this means is that the way they've created their brand, the way they created the product has put them in a way that gives them an upper hand against other competitors. So as mentioned before, the TRSB has about 150 personnel. So that gives them an amazing advantage over other competitors, and it makes them produce more, it makes them achieve more as a team. And then another strength that TRSB has is that they have a focus of two languages, French and English. So that means that they're very specialized when it comes to translating those two languages. And that it means that the translation on those languages will be pronounced perfectly and everything would be very detailed. Next off, we have dedication to services for consumers. So TRSB is very dedicated to their consumers. They're very bound to help them with anything that they need. Any services that they want for the consumer, they will be given to them, and it will be given to them at a very fast rate. And for the personnel size, as I mentioned before, the personnel size is about 150. So that gives them an upper hand against all competitors. And then lastly, analyzing their own strategy. TRSB has done they have done a great way of analyzing what they do and how they achieve their success and also what they're doing wrong. And they've noticed that their marketing strategy is what brings them in a little bit more money. So they're trying to elaborate ways on how to improve their marketing strategy when it comes to reaching different parts of the world. And next, I'll be talking about the analysis problems. So TRSB struggles with attaining public relations. And the reason they struggle is because the company is very focused on their product, but other competitors are pushing them out of the spotlight. So it makes it a little bit hard. And their focus is not that much on public relations. Another problem that TRSB has is large companies are beating TRSB in projects, and the reason for these large companies to beat TRSB is due to the companies taking cuts, and with these cuts, they're able to take advantage of achieving more projects than TRSB would be able to, since TRSB is in need of more of a profit at this time. So larger companies are able to have the advantage over TRSB, resulting in a loss of revenue for TRSB when it comes to the market. And another problem that TRSB has is the creative and innovative services. They're very slow when it comes to creating with new ideas for their services. That is the one thing they lack on, as I've mentioned before. And another reason for them to be lacking in services is because of the technology that they have. They're not adapting to technology the way that a company should be. They're not very focused on that part. And if they were to focus on adapting new technology, that would only lead to more revenue and increase in the greater market for their translations. And then lastly, for the problems that we have are translation issues. And the only issues that they have is they're only focused on two languages. This is good, but when it comes to expanding the market globally and internationally, the company needs to be able to be accessible, to be able in different languages, and it will allow for companies and different organizations to specialize and help each other when it comes to campaigns and different specialized products. And for the other opportunity, for the other analysis that we have is opportunities. So TRSB has they can increase their public relations, and the way they would do this is by achieving more of a marketing standard with it. And this ties in with the other bullet point, which is marketing and advertising for international customers. TRSB would be marketing in an international standpoint, and they would be working with different companies globally or all around the world. And if they're able to push out more of their revenue towards marketing, they will be able to achieve different clients, bigger access to the market, and it would achieve more higher levels of revenue, and they will be able to have access with different products from different companies, and overall that would achieve a stronger company view, and their brand would be able to increase, and it will allow for their brand to have awareness all around the world. So if anyone sees their brand, they'll know who TRSB is. And another opportunity that TRSB can have is adapting the use of technology. So the way they would adapt the use of technology would be using high-end CAT systems. And with this adaptation to the new systems, it would allow TRSB to improve the growth of the company and their services, and also create higher levels of revenue. And then lastly, we have is translation in more languages. TRSB has a big opportunity to achieve more languages. All they need to do is just focus more of their department into different languages, specialize in creating new ways of integrating the languages. So like if we want to go to Spanish or Italian, it would just be breaking it down to their subsections in their company to have a new establishment and new focus on those new languages. And this would all lead to a greater profit. So I'm going to be passing on to Vi. Here you go.
Okay, so to help the company operate more efficiently and profitably, TRSB can explain the business activity to the world market. Despite the success in the Canadian market, the company still face great competitions in the world market. This territory offers large profits from different niches, different and distributed operation globally more efficiently. However, it can also cause the company to lose the state of the customer and create an opportunity for competitor to fill the empty customer need. Next slide, please. So TRSB may also do the business with the high-tech translations company like Google. This combination could create a boost in the translation industries, helping to improve the creativity of TRSB based on the translations advisor from Google. However, the cost of incorrect is quite expensive, and some of the unique features of TRSB can be copied by Google. Next slide, please. To be able to find more sort of customer based on the company current organization chart, it can be seen that its human resources are relatively small compared to many other companies. Therefore, human resource develop activities such as improvements, agency, or opening up more departments are necessary. This helps to create highly quality human resource, thereby increasing competitiveness. However, conducting a human resource training program costs the company both time and money. Furthermore, difficult in design training content, checking employee attendance, and evaluating training effectiveness. Yes. So now I pass to Gloryann.
Thank you, Vi. The fourth recommendation that we have is that TRSB, instead of seeing it as competition, can actually utilize automation and computer-aided translation tools. Yes, those at TRSB have concerns about the quality of their services, but according to Nidaselka and Contini, computers do substitute labor, but not the labor of those who use them directly. Automation may reduce the number of jobs needed for TRSB, but that means it would also increase the value of those employees still at TRSB. Employees would still be needed to communicate with the client about their needs and to ensure that the client is fully satisfied, as well as they would need to be trained as IT specialists to ensure that everything is going smoothly and that if there are any problems, those specialized employees can help get the system back. Through this, automation would be just a tool available that can not only speed up the process of helping a client, but also cost less than TRSB's current services. With the cost that TRSB would be saving through automation and computer-aided translation tools, TRSB can use that money to train and specialize the employees in their company to focus on a more than a translator approach, which I will touch on soon. This would help TRSB expand, as with the help of automation and computer-aided translation tools, clients would be able to have their needs met even faster while still having a great customer service from the remaining specialized employees. Next slide, please. The last recommendation that we suggest is that TRSB can start focusing on a different approach to how they think about their company and how they should market their company. The nature of the translation industry is changing, and it is important to keep up with the progressing times so that companies aren't left behind. It is recommended by some experts that translation companies reinvent themselves as communication firms and focus on developing their client's brand through the use of automation or computer-aided translation tools, as I stated in the previous suggestion. Currently, TRSB follows the suggestions of their internal marketing team, which include participating in various professional events to increase visibility in target markets, as well as buying advertising space. This is a great way to reach a greater audience. However, we suggest that TRSB should do this, but as a communication firm. More clients would want to work with them as they wouldn't be stuck in the same bubble. Their services would be expanded, as well as their current clientele would be able to hire them for more services, thus increasing profits. Next slide, please. In conclusion, TRSB is a translation services company that prides itself on its ability to have premium service available 24/7, as well as exceptional customer service. However, competition in an always changing world has become a threat to TRSB. Through our recommendations of TRSB expanding business to other countries, collaborating business with high-tech translation companies, developing a stronger human resources, utilizing instead of avoiding automation and computer-aided translation tools, and moving forward with a more than a translator approach. We as a group believe that TRSB will continue to succeed and expand even further. This concludes our presentation, and thank you for listening.